Hello everyone, this is Maria from mariascraftingcorner.com. Welcome to another card making video and thank you so much for being here with me today. Hey Miss Suze, hey Anne, welcome and good morning to you. So Suze, it's so funny that you mentioned and asked about being exhausted. I got all these crazy cases today and I think that whenever I make these plans, so I was I was thinking I was very busy through the weekend because there were, things going on. We'll talk about it in a minute. And then I'm like, I have, yesterday, I had yesterday off as a holiday. And I was like, I have Monday. And then, I think my Tuesday is kind of going to be okay and a little bit chill. And I'll be able to just go ahead and kind of finalize everything that I wanted to do. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you for sharing, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. And it was just so funny because the minute the day started, I started with a care conference and it was like nonstop all day long. I actually had to I have to take a lunch. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Miss Judy. Because I need to at least cut some things for the video today. So hopefully we make this through. And it goes, oh, okay. Let me see. Guys, if you are interested in Paper Pumpkin Kit, the coming Paper Pumpkin Kit is very beautiful. And it coordinates with the Meandering Meadows suite. It's just really beautiful. Hello, Miss Adrian. So I recommend that if you like that suite, you subscribe this month because it's going to be a gorgeous kit. And with all that, I have been mentioning over and over that Stampin'Up is releasing kits, 2 kits a month. So, hey, Miss Anita, I want to remind you that we have 2 beautiful kits this month. I think they're really cute. I did not get them. We'll see what next month brings. Again, they're going a mile, 10 miles, 100 miles an hour, and I just can't keep up. Thank you, Anita. I appreciate that. So, for those of you that don't know, and if you're new here, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and this is your free gift for your $50 purchase before shipping and taxes. So if you want to make the most out of celebration, this is when, because on top of my gift, you'll get as many gifts as, well, I guess you'll get a gift every $50. Let me put it that way. Okay, guys, so let's go to the crafting table. I am not in the mood for a whole lot of announcements. So sorry about that. It's just sometimes I was like, it's too much. Let's not do any more talking. What are we going to be doing today? This is one of those other cards that I saw on Pinterest, and I have to tell you guys, it's really beautiful. I did not find a template for it or anything, so I kind of had to figure it out. I found it. So this is an old post from like 2014 in Peon Designs, and Peon Designs, or Pion, I don't know how you say it, is a paper. I was gonna say paper crafter, no, but it's a company that makes paper in Sweden, I want to say, and so they have some really beautiful paper, but that's where I got the card from initially, and I was talking to Tara, who's not here yet, but I was talking to Tara a while ago that I have at this point in time the ability, just because of the many cards I've made, right, that if I have enough angles of a card, I can probably figure it out, right? With some, trial and error, of course. And that's how I figured this one out. I am not really sure if it's exactly like or if it's, yeah, if it's exactly like the one I saw, but it's more or less in the same vicinity. So again, I got it from Pinterest, but it was a link to a very old post from Pion Pion designs, and it looks something like this. So it is a step card, but it has a diamond fold as part of the step card, and it does say this one is my, my cheat sheet. So it kind of is all messed up. Now to get there, I did 3 other versions. These are the versions I worked with, and like I said, a lot of trial and error. So that is how crafting goes. Every so often I hear people saying, oh my God, I will never be able to do that. And I like to remind people, just because this is very true for me, that I started with not even figuring out how to make a regular 4¼ by 5½. Like, I didn't know measurements. I didn't know any of that. And I just kept going and going, and I really like it. I just get really entertained by this. So my thought is always make a template. That is what has saved me all this time. Before we get into the mayhem in here, actually, I want to be more organized in my video. So crossing my fingers. I'm going to show you what we're going to be working on today. So the main stamps that I will be using is this stippled roses. Oh, sorry guys, definitely my English is not good today. Hey Miss Donna, how are you? And I have to tell you, I have done another card, like 2 other cards using these, but I just love coloring this stamp set, and it's pretty big. It's a very, very big stamp set, and I just love coloring it, guys. I don't know, I spent a lot of time coloring, and as you guys can tell, I was doing things today in a rush, and they are all like not well organized, I guess. Let's see. Let's try to get this somewhere. Come on, you can do it. Okay, more or less. So anyways, this is going to be the quote unquote main well, the main stamp set. Now, as you will see the card here in a minute, and I was working on trying to get, some cute things going on and whatever. And so I was going to use, as you probably already guessed, I was going to use the Thoughtful Expression dies, because I can't help it. I just love them. And to me, they have that like vintage, soft, delicate feeling, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm going to use those. Let me remove this so you don't have to see the actual awful glare. And then I'm like, I've used that a lot. So I realized that I have actually not used this dies. So I'm like, this is it. I have to use this dies, right? There's no other way. So these are the dies we're going to be using. Since there are so many beautiful sentiments in here, we may use these sentiments instead of the ones that come with the staple roses. I see, like, these have the sending thanks, but I don't know. I like the change of font in this one, like, this font and then this change. I don't know. I really like this one, so I may be using the whole stamp set for this card instead of using the sentiments in here. And finally, I am using our elegant borders. I have not used them recently, and I figured it was time to bring them out and putting out there for you guys to remember their existence. So those are the main things we are going to be using today. Just because celebration is coming, right, I decided I was going to use the softly stippled paper. And yes, I am using the pool party version of it. Like, this paper has 4 main colors: the Pebble Path, the Wild Wheat Pool Party, and then Calypso Coral. I did make one with Calypso Coral. Hi, Miss Brenda, how are you? And so, because I'm trying to use that paper since celebration is coming to an end, which reminds me to tell you, hey, Miss Nicole, how are you? Good morning to you too. Um, Celebration is coming to an end. Don't hesitate to get some free goodies. One of the things I love about that paper is that one of the pages has actually kind of smaller versions of that stamp. Oh, yes, it is gorgeous. Um, and you can actually color the paper, and it's very useful, right? Like it multiplies, not multiplicates. I'm thinking Spanish. It multiplies your options. But I also think that if you're good at die cutting, you just go ahead and die cut it, and you don't even have to stamp. So I just wanted to show you a quick coloring of it. Okay, let's get started. So I am using an old piece of failed papaya, because, right? Hello, how are you? How are you doing today? Um, when I see your name, there's a Spanish name that's Inez. Um, I don't know if there's a lot of English people that use it, or the English speaking people that use it. But Inez, and when I see your name, that's what comes to my brain. Okay, so this is just a regular 8.5 by 8.5 by 11, and we are going to cut it at 6 inches on the 8.5 piece. Hi, Ida, how are you on the 8.5 side? And now we're going to open these up. Sorry, guys. Let me move that there. And we are going to cut. So we turn this around, put it horizontal, and cut at 10. So initially, I thought I was going to need. Hi, Crystal. Welcome. I was going to need to do it in a 12 by 12 piece, and I ended up figuring out how to make it in a regular cardstock size. So we're going to do and score now at 3, and this is not the color I'm working with. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, so that is okay. That makes me very happy because yes, Inez, I know how to say. And then we are going to move to 6 inches and score. And now we're going to move to 8 inches. And I am doing this on a, just the template here for you, so I can write on it, guys, and you can see how this goes. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I can write on it, so I just think it's easier for you guys when we have this in a draft. So again, score at 3. So I'm going to write them here because this is how it works. 3, 6, and 8. This area is the one that we are going to turn into the diamond card, or the diamond part of the fold. So I don't know if you remember the many diamond cards we've made, but we've made a couple, and they all follow the same principle, right? So because my eyesight is not very good today, I am marking on that 6-inch score line. I'm marking the top and the bottom, and I am going to align that mark with the opposite corner. So this is the bottom, this is the top corner, and we're going to score. I am bringing my scoring tool towards the bottom so I don't smoosh that beautiful corner there. And now let's make sure that this is actually well aligned. It is important that it is well aligned. I have to tell you guys, I found out that the hard way, same as always. So I'm giving it another good score, or pushing it harder. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So these would be the top mark, so the top of our score line, right? And now this is the opposite corner, so the bottom corner. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to score. And hopefully this is decent. So you will know that this is a good, or let me phrase it different. The closer that you are, and I'm going to mark it here so you guys can see what I'm talking. Okay, there. So if you actually score here at 8 and make these two other diagonal scores, and they all kind of meet in the middle, that's when you know that you probably did a very good scoring, which means that, let me see, I had another try, but so which means that if for example it's a little bit off, you will have some issues folding this correctly. And so I would say if it's off, if it's too much off from all them meeting in that middle point, in that center, might as well try to score it again with another piece of paper. I know that's not ideal. We don't want to waste paper, but it will be harder. Let me see. My trash can, so I think I can show you here. It will be much harder. So it looks like it's in the middle, but look what happens when I fold it. It's not well folded. Can you tell? Like, see, this is not a line. This is more or less a line, but it's just like it does not fold. It does not want to fold. So I knew that this was not going to work for us today. So I put it in the trash can. I probably shouldn't have thrown it away because that's paper I can use. But that's what I mean. So if it's a little bit off, just figure out that you can probably do panels or something different with the paper and let it go. Same as we have done with our other with some other diamond full cards. Sorry, I got distracted saying, "Hey, Anne, how are you?" Seeing all the coming and going. So of the comments, and I got a little bit distracted there. So we're going to fold this. Remember that we're going to fold, and I'm going to put it like this. So diagonals are mountain, and this one in the middle goes valley. So let's do the diagonals first. So we just do the whole set together, and we're going to give that a good crease, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side and give it a good crease, right? Okay, so those are two. So mountain, and now we're going to fold these valley. Okay, so that's our first fold. Now the number 6, the score line, so the score line at the 6-inch mark, that goes valley too. And then finally, the last one is going to be mountain. Okay, so very simple. This is the card. As you can tell, once you do that, the diamond part of the card kind of folds itself. We'll have to cut these. We have done that in the past, and we're going to now move into the other card, into the card that we're actually going to be working with. But this is how it looks. So it works like a step card, and it will have this super cool option that looks really, really beautiful once you decorate it. Okay. So moving to our card is in Pebble Path, because I really, really like the combination of Pebble Path and Pool Party with white. I think it just looks really beautiful. And it has already been scored and such because we, I knew that that's where we were going to No, it has been folded, but not really. I have not used my bone folder on it. So we're going to do that together. Because it makes it a lot easy, guys. I know you've probably heard 100 people saying the same thing. When you're doing fan folds, you do need to use your bone folder to crease those folds. Otherwise, it just won't do what you want to do, right? It just will do whatever the card tape wants to do, the cardstock wants to do. Okay, and our last is mountain. So now we have the same we had with the other. Like I mentioned, we have an issue here. We need to cut those, and that's what we're going to cut here right now. In the past, guys, so you can do this two ways. You can, kind of like mark with your pencil on both sides and then cut them, if that makes it easier. I am just going to do the mark, and and cut it with the trimmer is what I meant. And I'm going to try to cut it with my scissors, guys. I am not a scissor friend. I always mess up. And so, but I am feeling lucky. No, I'm not feeling lucky. I just feel that it does a little bit of a better job if you do it with your scissors carefully. So we have one there, and you can always go back with the trimmer and cut more, right? Now I'm turning around because it's easier for me to cut from there than cut from here. I'm assuming that is for everybody, but just in case, that's what happens to me. And this is kind of what I was telling you. See that it's a little bit off in here. It's not a big deal, but when we're cutting these, I have to be a little bit more careful because this is not perfectly aligned. You guys see what I'm saying? So because that is happening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from that corner to that mark where we initially we initially marked, and going to follow the same. So from the other corner, I'm just going to cut towards that same point, kind of where they meet, right? Meeting with the other piece. Let me see. And that makes it a little bit easier. So whatever makes it easier for you guys, but that makes it very, very easy. And now our card will stand up. So I'm looking at your comments. It looks like we're talking about the weather. Ooh, 37 degrees. Yeah. Ugh. I hear you. Oh my gosh. That is hot for me. So this is the card base. Very simple. I don't know if you guys have seen this before. Like I said, I have only seen it once. And that's with them. I have not been able to see it anywhere else. So I do have to tell you guys, I don't know if it's called a diamond step card or step diamond card. I don't know the name of it. I'm assuming that because this is kind of a step card and this is diamond, that's a good name. But I don't know if that's how it's called. So if somebody has seen these and know the name of it, oh, that's wonderful, Suze. Those are great news. Woohoo! See? Woohoo! If you if you know if it has a different name, just let me know. I just don't know any better. So I'm going to put the decorations. What I like about these is that you can decorate the inside and the outside, and we're going to decorate both, of course, but it looks pretty cool when it's open. And again, I was saved because the person that took the pictures, she took 3 pictures, one like in the front, right, one like this, and then one with the open card, and then that's where I could see how it looked, right? So I knew that these two were the same measurement. And that's when I thought 12 inches, right? Because then I could have like I know that diamond folds need these to be the same measurement. But we figured it out differently, and that is going to work. So let's work on our decorations, because that's the extent of the card. There's nothing else but this. So I'm going to bring, these are the layers. I should have had some of these, not dyed, some of these already, oh my gosh, already put together. I forgot the word. Already glued together, but like I said, it was kind of a crazy. Oh, thank you, Donna. Kind of a really crazy day. So I want to bring this one. This stamp belongs to Perch in a Tree, and that's still in the annual catalog. And I have it here with me just so I can use little dots. And that's all they do. And I have it, keep it here because I don't want to have to go and have to look for it. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to create some just texture. I know that paper has some extra texture already, but I just want, for whatever reason, dots. Jesus. So let's go ahead and finish this dottage. Because that's what I see in my brain, right? So you gotta follow that gut feeling. So this piece we are going to do dots, and we'll have another one that we're going to do dots as well. In the meantime, let's go ahead and glue all these friends. I'm going to do that as quick as possible. It'll be amazing if my glue worked, but of course it didn't. Come on, guys. Why would it work? Oh, how cute. 4 months. That's so cute. Miss Judy. Okay, so. Oh, there it is. I was like, come on, glue. Come on. Don't leave me hanging here. So this is going to be our first panel that we're gluing, actually. This first panel. So this is the front of the card. This panel is going to go in here. But before I add it here, just because I have a harder time gluing things together, I did cut. So this is a piece of like one, I want to say it was 1.5. Yes, it was 1.5 inches by 5 and 7/8. Oh, that's very good. Which is, this is the length. This is the other side, the right side. This is the length of the die, right? So all I did was getting it in a regular piece of paper and got the 1.5 because that's the amount I wanted. And so I want this one in here, and let me bring, and I cut a little piece with the same length, the length measurement, so 5/7/8, and this is 1/2 inch, and all those will be in your in your PDF tutorial. Now, making sure these fits well. I did forget to mention my measurements today, guys. I'm so very sorry about that. But you will need, let's see, let's bring this up here. You will need 4 pieces, in my case, of white, basic white that measured 5/7/8 by 2/7/8. And then the layers, because you guys know I love my eighths. It's 3/4 by let me sorry 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. But again, all those measurements are going to be included below. So those are the ones we are working with now. I'm going to glue this front first because I really think that if I don't do it, it's just going to be a little harder once I glue this to the card base. And I'm going to align these kind of centering in there. That's why I want it to be an 1.5 inch. So I have like some white towards the edge, and like you guys can tell, I cut these a tiny bit bigger, so we're just going to go ahead and cut that, and this is going to go on top of here. So the reason why I wanted the white right, going showing is so you can actually see all the different papers, everything that's going on in here. So now let's go ahead and add our little decoration in here. In the end, this card is going to measure 6 inches wide and as much as you put up. And I'm saying that because you can make it much bigger or smaller. And I have two other examples that will show you how to play with it. So again, this one will go in here. So I really, really like how this looks. I like the color combination very much. And I like how soft this makes it look in the end. This one is a tiny, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's like not even a 16th of an inch, but I feel that it needs to be cut. And I'm going to come up here. There. So let me throw that in the trash can. Okay, so this is our first panel. You can totally decorate. This is going to be the back panel, right? That back panel, I'm not going to do a whole lot more than adding some paper to it. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. So we have something going on there, but I'm not going to put anything else. But if you don't want to decorate inside or this area, then you can totally just put add a layer and put your sentiment in the back, or your notes in the back, something like that. So I think that it has options. I'm just not going to do it because I'm going to decorate the inside of it. Okay. So very simple, but I really like this. Hey, Kiwi, how are you? Thank you, Carrie. I'm so glad you like it. I have to tell you, these I really like. This can be just like this in a regular 5 1/4 by 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card will be enough. In a little sentiment or something, or maybe a flower coming out, and that will be enough. That's what I think, right? The next step, so we're going to go into the inside. So these will open like this, right? So this goes and this will open like this. So my thought, and I'm going to bring now one of the panels I have. So what I did is, this is just the, first layer, and this is not going to have any other layer, but it's going to go here in the middle. Now I was thinking of not having to make the decision of what I'm going to put in. And this other panel is going to go in here. And here's the funny thing. I have not decided completely if I wanted that same simpler panel in here. I think I'm going to go with this simpler panel. Yeah. Yes, Miss Judy is right. Girly girl, that is me. Cannot help that. Yes, Adrian, those border dies, I think they are online exclusive, which makes me happy because that means they're not going to go away like tomorrow. But I really like them very much. And I'm going to put this one here because if we want, we can bring another piece of this. We can get creative with this because it can take something in it. As the flower one, it's a little bit easier pattern, so I just don't want to risk it, right? Okay. Yes, I was very, very pleased. So Kiwi is saying that the paper is pretty. I was very, very pleased with this year's celebration DSPs. Okay, so let's see. I think I know I want this one. But I'm not sure what I want. So I know I've said this like 100 times, right? I always like a sentiment that goes in the front, like, hey girl, right? And then something in the inside that is a continuation. And I don't have a hello, something, I don't have anything like that. So that is not cool. And I don't have here anything, of course, why would I? Give me 2 seconds. So I'm bringing another one of the celebration items. This is the Softly Sophisticated, and I'm going to use this Hello There on the outside. And um, I think sending love and best wishes. Right? I think I like that one. Okay. So I'm doing all this because, yeah, this is the one. Because I'm going to adhere this now. Because this is already colored and I spent quite some time coloring this and all that good things. Yes, right. I am going to bring my Misty to get these stamped because the last thing I want is to not stamp it correctly, of course. And I want this one in here. Let me move that out of the way. Actually, I want it in here. Sorry, guys. It seems like this corner thing. And that I really, really like that stamp set. And like it's like cornery. It fits so well in this. You see, like I like how it's oriented. Very, very much because it fits like that in so many places. So I want these in here. So guys, I'm making sure this is straight, which is the only reason I'm using my thingy. And I'm actually using the back. So, fair statement, guys. I really don't know how to put the backs of the rubber ones. So I am using the font on the back to guide me because most likely I put this incorrectly. So there's that. I'm going to bring Pebble Path, guys, because there's a lot of pool partying here. And that's the sentiment we are going to use. And wish me luck. And I always do this. I know this is probably not ideal. Guys, I'm starting to have like some real issues with my breathing, thinking there that it was not going to go well. But it did. It did. Good news. Good news. Yes, yes, I agree with you, Ines. I love that because it is. They are beautiful. I am telling you, I love coloring them. And Miss Judy, these are not. And why I'm bringing the whole thing, I don't know. Let me move that out of the way. These are not, this is not no line coloring, but I used gray instead of black, so it's a little softer. Um, and I am using for this, and Stampin' Up doesn't have any other color. Memento has a gray ink that's called London Fog, and that will work well. I am using Lawn Fawn, and it's called River Rock, and it says premium ink pad. But it says on the top alcohol friendly. Yes, Kiwi. And I have several colors of this, but I'm using the gray because it kind of matches the Pebble Path. And I am still not the best at no line coloring. When there's no line, I start freaking out, guys. Let's be totally honest in here. So I'm going to add this one. This only has this layer. I am not adding any more layers. I don't think it needs to. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Miss Judy. I appreciate that, Ines. Yes, I have been learning how to color, and it's been such a pleasure, to be honest. So this is what we have so far. So now we have the cutting of the pieces for the layers on our diamond fold. And I am going to bring a piece of white cardstock, guys, just to show you how I did this. I have them cut. So let me go back here. This piece altogether measures 4 by 6, right? So I started with, maybe this is better, 3/7/8 by 5/7/8. I did not have time to tweak these measurements enough. If you've been here before, two things you know. One, I struggle a lot with triangles, right? Cutting triangles is a full challenge for me. So once I figured out how to get it going, I was not going to change. The other thing you probably, again, if you've been here before, that you know is that I will not, if I have to cut something, I will cut it bigger and then adjust. That will always be me. I think that if I cut bigger, then I'm saved. You know what, Donna, that's a really good question. I have not tried that. That's a really good question. If we have time, we can try to do that afterwards. Okay, so I will always, so Donna is asking if I could use like stamp off the memento ink and just get a softer impression, but I've never done that. So we can try that. So anyways, I will always cut bigger. I can adjust is much easier. If it's too short, I have to cut back again. Now, we are going to do exactly what we did in the other piece, right? We're going to line corner to corner, and I am going to score, right? More or less, maybe. Okay, and I'm going to score. Okay, first score. Now, I'm going to turn this around, and again, align the two other corners, and we are going to cut diagonally. Hi, Carol. How are you? Welcome. We're going to cut diagonally, right? Now, if you've been here before, you know that I try to cut from the middle so I don't smooch my corners. So we cut already, and what we have, you guys can see, yeah, you guys can see there. So I have one cut here and one cut here, and these would be the bigger triangles, okay? So now I'm going to bring this in here, and I'm going to cut from this area, right? So I'm aligning that in my trimmer. You guys are not seeing, and just aligning there my corner and that area. I don't know why, guys. I have to tell you, but I don't know why today I was not seeing well. So I've been doing this. I did all these earlier, and I was like, I am not seeing. So we have our first piece, and I'm going to cut the other one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm aligning that score line here as best as I can with in my trimmer, bringing that back. So I start from a, point, and go for it. And now we have our 4 pieces. So let me move this back up for 1 second. So if I bring my card here, you can put this in here, and that is, for whatever reason, almost perfect. Hi, Cliffy, how are you? So Judy and Ines are asking about using Sahara sand or using gray granite. This is what I'm going to say. That works well. You have to be careful when you're coloring with ours. That has been, okay, let me rephrase this a little bit different. My experience has been, oh my God, Cliffy, I have not read that in its entirety. Sorry, 1 minute. Congratulations, Cliffy. That's so exciting. A grandson. Congratulations. My experience has been that if you stamp with Stampin' Up inks and do blending with alcohol markers, at some point it gives in. So you can do it, but it will not work perfectly. It has not worked perfectly for me. I'm going to phrase it that way because it may totally be that for other people it has worked. So I am putting this in here. Um, and this is fairly okay. I have mine already done, but this is fairly okay. As you can tell, these, I mean, you can probably cut like a 16th of an inch, which is what I did for most of mine when I did it. And it's very easy because you just bring your piece aligned there with our, I always forget how to say this. Well, with this brown line, and that will be a 16th of an inch, and that's how I start every single time, and then we'll cut it and adjust. So that will probably work very well. Let's just put it in here, and we can see how good it looks. So again, you will need then 2 pieces of white cardstock measuring 3/7/8 by 5/7/8. Okay, so these are the triangles, and you'll need 4 of those. Now, if you see, we have these triangles. Hey, Renee, welcome. Triangles leftovers, which work actually perfectly for um, our inside pieces or these pieces. So what I will do, because I already cut them, so I got them like this. Just pay attention that this triangle needs to fit this way. Since it's a triangle, sometimes we just like kind of move them around in a weird thing. This needs to fit well here. What I did, and I'm going to do it real quick here so you guys can see, is I aligned this in the middle using that point as a guide. So I aligned that in my trimmer and then cut it. And now I have those 2 other pieces. We'll have to work on those pieces as we move on. Oh, Ines is probably right. She is saying that they work, but only, but you have to let them dry, and that is why it had probably not worked for me. So thank you for letting me know that. Okay, so like I said, I have at least some of my pieces here completely ready. So what I did, guys, is I got some of that beautiful paper that we were talking about. This one. And I use my blending brush just to color the roses very softly. No coloring, because this is just pieces that you're going to put inside and outside. And I did not, I mean, yeah, like just decorating patterns, and I didn't want to spend hours trying to color all these flowers. But what I did is I actually cut my the inside layer. It's actually 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I cut my piece, I colored all the roses on them, and then, or color blend with the blending brush, and then I just cut the pieces. So what I ended up is I cut 2 different patterns for my DSP. One was that one, and one was the other one that is we've been using for quite a bit. And so those are the ones we're using. These actually will go on the inside, so we're going to put that aside for a minute. And I am going to bring these one here, and I am going to do the exact same thing we did with the other panel, and that is bringing my little dots. And if you're just joining, these dots are from perched in a tree, which is probably one of those stamp sets that I really like. It does not need a whole lot, but I want this paper to, because this is going to go in the front here, to kind of really mimic that one. And like I said, I already have my pieces cut. I'm going to speed up a tiny bit because we have a few things left to do, and I am talking too much and taking my time. And I don't want us to be here forever in a day. Okay, so I'm adding this one. This is going to go in the front, like I said, so it kind of looks the same pattern. But not kind of, it's actually the same pattern with the same idea, right? because one against the other looks very good. And this one is the one that's going to decorate the back because I think it needs to be decorated. I have not created a step card that does not include decoration in the back step. So that is one of those things I just can't help it. And I know I didn't clarify this, but to cut the DSP, I followed this exact same the exact same process, right? We cut the piece and then we scored diagonally on one side and then cut on the other side. Oh, that's a beautiful name, Levi. Oh, that is so beautiful. I love that name. I agree with Miss Judy. That is a strong, beautiful name, Cliffy. Congratulations. That's so exciting. Okay, and now this goes back in here. Just the good thing is that this, you can always kind of stretch this. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And now I'm going to go back in the inside and I'm going to bring those two pieces that I have already cut. And one of them was a little bit shorter. So I think I want this one on the black, no, on the inside here. Maybe, most likely. Okay, and we're going to adhere these two pieces. So what I am doing is using two different patterns of DSP and that match well with each other, so they complement. And I don't struggle kind of like doing over and over different colors and different struggles. Dots, yes, Adrian, in the front, these two have these dots, and these dots belong to perch on a tree. Perch on a tree. I have it somewhere. Okay, so let me go back in here. So this is how this is looking. And this is where we are going to need to do some work. So let me speed up, guys. So I have my 8 pieces, right? 8 whites in here, right? As you can tell. But we're going to have to cut these quite a bit. So I'm making sure that I have them in the right position. So how do I do this, guys? I move this in here and I mark it. And I know I've talked to you guys about this. Me and triangles, we don't do well. I am going to mark them. So what I am calculating is about 1/8 of an inch. No, about a 1/16, maybe like 1/8 of an inch, guys, sorry, between, in here. And that's what I'm going to do with all of them. And cut it. And that is going to take me some time, and I am sorry. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to do 2 at a time because this piece will be the same as this piece, right? So let's go ahead and do 2 at a time. Of course, I have to put on top the one with the marks. There it is. I just did not have everything set up beforehand, and I couldn't do it. I wanted to do some things with you in the actual cardstock, and yeah, that's where we're at. I'm so very sorry about that. So I'm holding, making sure it's staying straight, and it went through. Okay, so we have these, and by the way, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to glue them at the same time because I don't want these to get confused and lost. My experience, that is probably not what happens all the time, but my experience with triangles is that all of these are going to have a little bit of a difference between one and the other. That's what I have found out. So might as well glue the ones that go together, right? So that way later on I'm not trying to figure out which one is the one that goes here and there, and it's like a puzzle thing, and it's not worth it. So I'm going to align this one since I have this one in here. Okay, yeah, Maria. I'm just trying not to use, so sorry I'm turning this around, but I want this to go here because this side has like an uglier side, and we are going to do the exact same thing, guys. So about 1/8 of an inch from the edge and another 1/8 of an inch. This is completely like just seam, right? I'm going to bring another piece. They all measure more or less the same, give or take, guys. No perfect. Thank you, Cliffy. I appreciate that. And so, and we're going to cut. And I'm trying to speed up, guys. I'm trying to speed up. And that goes fairly okay. It's not going to be perfect, especially because it's me and triangles, right? So I know that, wait, it was here. It was, see what I'm saying? You totally get lost with this thing. So I'm going to bring this one. And I'm looking for the beautiful side. Because this is not pattern paper, of course, that makes it a little bit easier. And then I'm going in the back and glue this. If you have cut triangles, you know that you have to take a lot of, or be very, very careful, right? Like it just with the patterns and how it goes. It's just one of those things. So our 4th time. So what I am doing, of course, I don't think I need to explain because you guys are seeing, but what I am doing is I'm bringing my piece, I'm putting it where it's going to go and move it a little bit until there's about that 1/8 of an inch, give or take, because I don't have a ruler or anything. And then marking up here and bringing another piece, put them together and cut. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. I'm so sorry. This I knew was going to take some time. But again, I wanted to cut some of these things with you so you guys can see. Thank you, Miss Judy. You're always so kind. Yeah, it's not Hallmark. Although it's a very long movie, too. It's going to be like Lord of the Rings kind of movie. Okay. And back in here. If you don't want to cut, layers to this, another great idea, which I don't know why I didn't think of that before, would be to dry emboss with this. So these will actually look very, very cute like that. Dry embossed only. And again, I didn't think of it. So nothing we can do right about now, since most of them are already glued, but that is a good option. And I really like that. I really, really like white embossed. Yeah, white embossed, dry embossed paper. It just looks so beautiful. Okay, so back again, cutting. And actually, guys, so it's not super long video. I am going to leave it without more layers. I'm going to leave just the white layers. Because it's another 5 minutes or so while I cut the other layers, right? And like I said, unfortunately, if I don't have a place to measure this, they are going to be off because, again, triangles behave differently than other things. And so, or in my experience, triangles behave differently. And so I always feel that that I have to do it in the moment. Otherwise, it's not going to fit well. I guess what I'm trying to say, if I were trying to use like one of my templates as a guide, they may not fit as well because that. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave this in white. This was my color combination idea, but we would have to cut it, right? So in the back would have been to add this piece in here. Man, does it look beautiful. So there's that. So I think I'm gonna go for it, guys. I really like it. I can't help it. And these ones, we have to be a little bit more careful. Okay, let me see. What am I doing wrong? one of this is not put correctly. So I know this is the long piece, so this goes in here. So let's see. This one is right well there. This one is not well there, so that means this is the one that belongs here. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Nicole. So I'm not going to go for it. I don't know. I really, really like it, guys. What can I do? Like, it just gives it something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the ones in the front and leave these white. So I'm going to do this super quick. I always say super quick, and then it's not that super quick, but quick enough. So I'm going to do two things here. You guys can see that there's barely any. So I'm making my mark. Actually, that was a little bit dumb. I'm going to line these and cut about a 1/16 off from these, because it feels like it's almost the same. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Elizabeth. Yeah, that now we have a little bit of more of a, what's the name of this? Of white. We're actually seeing the white, and I'm going to cut a tiny bit more. So at least there's not like a whole lot of extra decorations. That's the good news. Okay, so that is much better. Okay, I'm liking that. Took me a little bit, but I'm liking that. And if you hear that, that's my dog barking. And I don't know why I'm moving everything, and I move this out of the way. So this is a little bit harder to see because of the colors and the decorations and all that good stuff, but I think I'm seeing sort of correctly. Oh, thank you, Donna. You're so kind. And we're going to, and I cut it wrong. So that just tells me I have to let it be, because I am not going to start going. I'm just flustered, and the fluster I get, the more mistakes I'm going to make. So white it is, guys. White it is for now. Okay, so let's move in here. Maybe. There we go. So once it gets thick, it likes not to stamp very well. I will suggest just try to keep it close. I have mine close for now. Oh, thank you. But I suggest that. And so here it is, my other piece. So what I told you was right. So there you go. Like I said, I really, really enjoy coloring this. It looks very, very realistic. And I'm using those dies from the Perennial Postage. And these big piece is going to go around here. And I think probably there. So let me think about this. So these, of course, I'm in centimeters, because why not? Let me move that out of the way. It's so funny when I do that. So I just want to have, so, that is probably a good, that one there. So more or less all the way to 5 inches. And that way you have your first one layer here. So that's where I'm going to glue that one. And then I have another 2 pieces, one cut in our pebble path and the smaller one cut in white. And this one is going to go in front of here. So when you open it, you're going to see all of this. Well, this is going to be a little bit higher. So I want to start stamping in here with my hello there, which I really, really like. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Anita. Thank you, Miss Judy. You guys are so kind. And yes, I'm going to stick with that pebble path because again, there's a lot of pool party. Thank you, Cliffy. I appreciate that. And hopefully I do this straight. I could use the Misty. I feel very confident, I guess. I'm aligning these as best as I can. Whenever I'm using our polymer, well, any polymer stamp set, I always try it there, but that's just me. Okay, no. If my big head goes in there, guys, you know, I cannot help it. Um, Let me see this for 1 second. So I'm going to move this one towards, not center, but towards the top edge. And that actually makes it a little easier for me. I'm moving this towards me again. And sorry. Yeah. Hopefully this is straight. And it is straight. Guys, am I lucky? Thank you, Anna. I appreciate that. And we're going to glue. Yeah. I was thinking, do I want this? No, I'm going to glue this to the gray or the Pebble Path card base or other layer. And I'm going to bring one, so I have 2 other roses colored in the same way, and I'm just going to put it like here. So that's what I was looking at, is that if I put this one here, then I can put this rose kind of complementing that same thing. And you can totally do this the other way around too, if you wanted. It allows for whatever. You could totally do it like that, or you know, like horizontal like that. Like that's totally up to you, because I already stamped it thinking on the other position. I'm going to keep up with this position, and I'm going to bring some dimensionals to our beautiful flower. And so that will go, I think that is probably good like that. So, whoops, those are a little rebellious. Let's move that out of the way for a minute. So I'm going to bring this in here, and I could totally put some extra in the leaves. So I'm going to remove them. Oh, actually, does it fit? Let's see if it fits. It does fit. I mean, that's how you craft sometimes. Okay, so this one is going to go here, centered, and in order to do that, I'm going to open this, so this is easier. And the truth is, I'm going to put my glue in the card base. I guess we usually put the glue on the piece we are ignoring, but I mean, we are ignoring, we are gluing. Where did ignoring come from? I don't have glue. But this way I can actually see that it's fairly centered, right? So one here, one there. And that's the first one. So could you just leave it like that? Absolutely, guys. Look how beautiful this is. And then you just create that 3x6 card. And that will do, right? Totally will do. Since I already colored this, guys, I'm going to put this inside because, yeah. And I keep thinking about this. I don't know. Now I'm like, like, do I want it like this instead? You know? What do you guys think? Initially, it was like this, right? So my thought was, we'll put it in here, more or less there, and it's going to look like this. And once you open, it's just going to be like that. This is too low, but like that. What do you guys think? Should we try to put it on the top instead? I'm liking that a little bit better. While you guys think and get back to me, since there's a delay. Thank you, Carrie. I'm so glad that you like it. I am going to open this up, and remember this here we have. So I had colored this other rose to put somewhere in here, and we can totally put it there, or we can just bring it up here and put it like an extra detail. My initial thought was in here, right? Like kind of keeping up with this, maybe there. But since this is very simple, I am thinking I want this one here. I just got an idea. So, cho. Let's see. I am cutting a piece of white that is 5/7 by an inch. And I'm going to bring a piece of that flowery paper, if I find one, hopefully. I'm pretty sure I have pieces of other pieces, but this is what we're bringing. And I'm going to cut 1/2 inch. We're going to recreate what we did in the other one. And this is going to be the same 5/7. So we're kind of recreating what we did in the front. So this is going to go in here. Okay, thank you, Ida. Oh, thank you, Cherry. I appreciate that. So landscape. It looks like landscape is winning. Sorry, Ida. In the meantime, I'm just going to adhere these pieces. So I'm going to center these 1/2 inch in here. Make sure it all fits, and it does fit fairly well. And I'm going to put this as a decoration in there, and it goes over the pool party. Okay, and now I can bring my rose and I can put it in here like that. Like that. I like that. What you guys think? I really like that. Instead of adding it here, I like it in here. So we have some green in there and then some green in here too. So I'm going to add this in here. Just like that. Now let's go back to the front. So it looks like horizontal looks better. Let me see. I think I have to agree, partially because you can see the roses better. So yeah, Judy, I see that. So I'm gonna adhere these probably there, and I'm going to add. There's some of the secrets of how we colored. I'm gonna add, about, I don't know, what's that? About an inch of glue. Even if it could be more, that way I don't go over. And I'm gonna go completely below. Above, below the. The only thing I'm struggling. I'll give you here in a second, but that's fine. Let me see. I'm thinking of doing this instead. It's still a little higher, but I think that will work well. And these measures. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Yeah, it's still like 4 3/4. So I like this one. Like that. Okay, so a little bit higher so we actually can see that beautiful detail of the elegant borders, right? So that's our card. The last thing I have, guys, I have one. We can put, I guess we don't have to, if we wanted an extra butterfly. I think it's okay as it is, but there is that, you can add that. I have these festive pearls that have that very, very soft pool party, and I really like that one. So I'm going to bring that one. The other one I have is, these ones are I keep forgetting, faceted gems. Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. Thank you. And see, because I like this. This is supposed to be Lost Lagoon, but I think it really matches well, and they're big, and so they'll be noticeable. So I have several options today, and I think I stopped there because I don't see the other option. I had some other option. Oh well. There's that. No, not this one. So I think that it's so delicate that it kind of needs to go with the festive pearls, guys. Because these are so small and just like really, really beautiful. So I am just going to go with this one. And with the advantage that they're so small that we can put a few of them around. And I like that as well. So I'm going to move this out of the way here, guys. And what I am thinking is we're going to put a few up here. So we have 3, and they always tell you to work in 3s, right? But I'm going to kind of like use those areas where there's a little bit extra white and kind of create some dots. We could have created some dots in here. So I have one there. I'm going to bring one up in here where it's going to be seen. And now we have 5. And I think I'd like that. Let's see how it looks once we put it all together. Yeah. What you guys think? It looks cute, right? So that's your card. So it stands. And then when you open, almost, try not to crush this. Ta-da! It's very cute. I think it's very soft and I really like it. And I agree with Miss Judy. Girly, girly. So that is your first card. That didn't work very well. Let me organize here 1 second before I show you the other ones, because I don't just have all my inks open, and that's always a terrifying thought. Okay, so the first one I made was using the completely blackout. Where is it? Well, using the beautiful bird DSP. The light and airy. Is it light and airy? I don't remember. So this is that paper is very funny. It has like a lot of blues in it, right? It has misty blue and not orchid oasis. I see orchid oasis, but it's not mentioned. It has boho blue and like fresh freesia, and again, kind of like on those bluish colors, tones, right? But a few of the birds have crumb cake and the calypso coral, and I really like flight and airy. Thank you. I really, really like this. So I kind of played with those colors. So this is the bird from the perched on a tree, the one that those dots belong to. And I did this differently, but as you guys can tell, I kept more or less the same idea. I'm using Art Deco rectangles, and I just colored these. I kind of didn't stay very long coloring it because, again, I was a little bit late. And then the back, again, very simple. Let me move this. So when you open, I just kept the same idea, some extra dots. I mean my dot area. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. And then I just brought that part of that paper that has some of those birds in those colors, and not one extra, because why not? And I was telling you, right? I really like white embossed paper, and just brought one paper. So just keeping it in the same color combination. That calypso coral and crumb cake were the inspiration for it. Still, definitely one of my favorite DSPs. I really, really like it. So we have 2. And the last one I have, of course, I had to have some fun, guys. And so I made I don't know why this one doesn't want to stay, but let's hope it stay. Not that, Maria. There you go. So I have loved this paper and this suite the minute it came out. I've made several cards, and I just thought this was a super easy card to just have if somebody likes space. And so kind of using the same concept, right? And this was is much easier because I just think of space. I see this card and I think of space, right? So I did have a mishap there. I probably have to get another one of there. I moved my astronaut while it was it was there. It shouldn't have moved it. So very simple, right? So if you see it this way, it's pretty cute. And then in the inside, I just did some decoration with the planets and the paper because I really like that idea that you can just fussy cut stuff and make it work for you like stamps, or you make your paper just so much interesting, right? Actually, in this one, this is part of the die cuts that it brings, and I think it's called Reach for the Start. Oh, thank you, Miss Judy. Yes, they are very, very beautiful. And I did use one of the new coming embossing folders, the ones that I'm giving for free this month, the fun pattern embossing folders, to do this because I really like how that looks. And same as this one, this is the other embossing folder. So I think it looks very, very nice. I did use that ribbon here, and it really stayed, but it didn't stay in the other card. I don't know why it was so rebellious. Thank you, Miss Elizabeth. So there you go. That's what I was looking at this. I was like, what's happening here? It's just not going there. So all of them will stand, right? Which I think it's definitely a plus. I have had these under a little book here. So they were like sturdier because they were really rebellious, kind of misbehaving like this one is. But I think that once, oh, that was, now it stands because of course. But that's it, guys. We made it. We made it. Ida, the colors. So for these flowers, I'm going to put them like that. I used fresh freesia, and then the pool party. The pool party was given me today. The pool party. So light fresh freesia in the lightest of the tones I could get, and then the pool party was giving me 3 different tones today. So those are the tones I use, and then I used some of my pencils to kind of like push, and pull the colors in, and get some of that detail that is harder um, with the blends, right? So, and again, if you're interested, hey, let me do this. I'm really bad at this, but if you're interested in learning more, we have a coloring class, and we have been learning a lot, and I am super, super happy of everything that we've been learning, guys. If you're interested, let me know. You can send me an email there to Maria and mariascraftingcorner.com, and I can tell you all about it. We have been learning quite a lot about coloring, and it's super. I mean, I'm just having a lot of fun, guys. I can't deny that, but I know you know. If you've been here before, I know you know. Okay, guys, I know it's been very long. It was a little bit of, I was too slow at the beginning, but these are the cards. I am so glad you like it. Ines, no, Cliffy, I did not make a Christmas card, which is killing me. In my defense, last week for the shadow box, I did 2 Christmas shadow boxes. So I think I'm covered for this week. But I just did not have time. Guys, my daughter's birthday was it's on the 14th, but the party was on Sunday. And I swear to God, guys, I cooked like literally from 10 a.m. till the party was taking place. It was a lot of cooking. So, and yeah. And then today, which I was planning again, yesterday I worked on these 2 cards and getting some of these ready. And then as I was just, getting ready for the day, and we went to bed last night, and then our basement started flooding because God has plans. And so we had to do quite a bit of stuff between yesterday and then really my husband took over today. He's very nice at doing that. But yeah, It's been a little busy. So no Christmas card. What can we do, Cliffy? I owe you one. Guys, I'm so glad that you like them. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Nicole. I really appreciate your kind words. Let me come back up here. You don't need to keep talking to the hands. Um, I wish you all a wonderful rest of your week. If you are watching the replay, let me know down below which one you prefer. And please, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I still have that. I'm so proud of myself. Right, Cliff is with me there. I made two last week. So, so yes, like and subscribe, guys. If you share, it helps me a lot. Hi, Jeannie. Thank you. It helps me a lot because that's a lot of organic growth. Is I don't know if that exists, but that's how I think. It's like people recommending, and I really appreciate that. The PDF tutorial will be up probably later today. Worst case scenario, tomorrow in the morning will be up and running in the website. Ah, flooding. It was not fun. But again, my husband is a very active man and he just like got into doing all the good stuff and it worked. So, yeah. You are all very welcome. I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope that it's just starting, but that is full of blessings. And I hope to see you next Friday at the Paper Pumpkin Kit Alternative. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to share if you like the video. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week.